Okay, so we're midway through Loris's lap and he's gone wide. Apex is over there, mate. So we move on to Little Fusion. It's on Inters, useless. Missed Maxwell G, 16-2. Sets the benchmark for everybody else to chase. Loris next cross line, he went wide, so his is not comparable. F1 Union's on Inters. There's a McLaren Skidder who is going into the pits. Cookie starts his lap. TB on Inters on softs now. I'm gonna watch him. Bit skittish on the exit as Little Fusion does a 20.4 on his Inters. TB's first sector 28 flat. Nicely into these corners. Double right coming up. You need to hit both of the apexes. Hits none of them. Sets himself up nicely up here. Here though, into the fast corners here. Cut a bit of the corner on the left. Have touch a higher onto the grass. A bit loosey goosey on the rear end as Night Owl goes P2 with a 16.2. TV a bit wide there, a bit slow. Into the edge of the stadium section, hits that apex nicely. It was okay in the stadium section, a bit lackluster in the entrance. Skittish on the exit, a run to the line, shortest run, and goes with a 15.8 to the top. Jack Miles next up, J&T cross line with a 16.8. Jack Miles with a 16.2 P3, good lap from him. A McLaren next up of Cookie, fastest with the 14.7. Crikey, Tom Penguin, you're useless. You're also useless. Who isn't on Inters? That would be a good thing to check. There you go. Josh, not on Inters, to the line. Wide to the line. 59, a tenth off the Red Bulls. Very good lap. I think people are now going to enter the pit lane. I don't think anybody else is on a lap. Nisif invalidated his lap. Cuts the corner. So does the Aston Martin behind. Scintillating work from you two. Is that Tom Penguin? No, it's Loris. Loris Carius. Nisif starts his lap. A long straight down into turn one. It is. Too long sometimes. He's missing his front, so I'll go sit on board. Brakes nicely, rise the entry curb on the left rail, hits a tail line apex, rise to turn 2 apex, rise to turn 3 apex. Very nice in the first 3 corners. And the sector 1, TB's is a 28 flat. Nisif does a 27.9, currently faster than the man in P2. TB. Very nice on the wheel, very nice on the throttle. Return on his telemetry. Wheel flick slides across the double right-hander into the S section, the fast corners of the track. Rise that curb nicely. Put half the car, put the middle of your car onto that curb, sausage curb. ERS midway through the S section, very brave. Lining his car up. A lot of people gone wide here. Oh, loosey goosey goes wide. Apparently sets the fastest sector 2. Lost a bit of time. Completely misses that apex. He's an absolute brilliant lap rolling the stadium section. He'll finish the lap off. And it will be a 16.3. I feel like he could be up with Josh. But he did mess up that stadium section. Skidder on the lap, 27.8 in the first sector, 2/10 quicker than TB. I don't know Cookie, so I don't know how far behind or ahead of Cookie is in sector 1. Told me he's going to go with an ambitious strategy in the race, and we'll see how that works out. Does that corner very nicely, better than the rest that we've seen so far on board. Stadium section, rise that curb beautifully into the final corner. Get the throttle on, son, and to the line. Is it going to be quicker than Cookie or slower than Cookie? 2/10 slower. Great lap from him. Savages backwards. What a mong. Josh is missing his front. 2/10 up. Could be quicker than TB here. Now, shortest run to the line. He used a long run to the line last time. A 15.8. 0.002 quicker than TB. Nobody else is on the lap. Gecko is. I am mistaken. He's starting his lap. Let's sit on board. Let's sit off board with him. I'm going to turn off the telemetry because it looks ugly. So, no telemetry for the viewers. Very neat and tidy. Neater than the V-Cub of Nisif. He was built all over the place in here, in Sector 1, sorry. What's it going to be? It's going to be a 27.7 for Gecko. Very nice. On board with the terrorist into the double right-hand corner. Hits it very nicely composed on the throttle, the turning. Doesn't go all loosey-goosey like the other people who have been on board with through there. In the S section, very neat and tidy. The Merc is like that. It's a very stable car. Uses ERS until about 10-11% into entering the stadium section. Very nice. Fourth gear through there. Skither was third, so a bit of a difference in gears compared to between the drivers. Now, penultimate corner, got this little kink in the corner. Kink, which counts as a corner. Run to the line. It's going to be a 14.9, a mega lap from Gecko. I think that's Loris. Penguin starting this lap on softs. Union goes P4. Shorts goes P2. I think Goatley's on a lap, I'm not sure. Goatley was on a lap because P8, I missed him. My bad. Reese Dainty on a lap here, finishes it up. P6 behind the Union. Not great. It needs to be where Gecko is. He's currently 7/10 off his teammate. Not optimal. There's a Sauber of Beatnik starting his lap. Nice Miami Gardens livery. On board is beautiful. A nice green helmet for Beatnik as well. Loris had troubles with his first two laps. Currently 4.5 up. Hopefully he's kept it neat in the stadium section. I didn't see it. But to the line, it's going to be a 16.8. That is not good. J&T invalidated. Was 5/10 up. Would have done 16.0, which would have put him P9. Corn Penguin, 4 seconds up, obviously, because he was on Inters. Skither lags out. We'll give him an invite. Or once I see this guy's lap. It's going to be a 15.8, P7, good luck for him. A Ferrari, next up a Blonde, I think. Behind an Alpine. That's short, so never mind entering the pit lane. Blonde would pick up right here. Now, what's he going to do? His teammate's currently P2. Is he going to join his teammate up there? No, behind Gecko. Top 5 though, good stuff from him. Go to lead boxes. Fusion on his out lap. Max was on a lap. No, he's 12 seconds down. Very slow lap, if he was. Beatnik now going to do a proper lap. 2 warm-up laps for him, interestingly. Don't think it'll help him get out of Q1 though. Sauber, notoriously a terrible car. Even worse around here with the lack of grip. You need that rear grip in your car. And the Sauber lacks it all. 3 people retired so far. They think they're safe. Gecko, make it 4. Gecko, Skither, Shorts, and Cookie, the top 4. Beatnik, I did not see a sector 1. Probably slow. It's a Sauber. I think TV's finishing slap off. Currently P10. And pits. So he might be in a bit of trouble here. You don't know. Maxwell invalidates. Jack Miles starting his lap. We're going to go back to Beatnik. Currently 2.5 seconds up. I already put in P19 though. Unless he can gain about another second, maybe. in the stadium section. On board, second gear, he's going to pit. Does he have a quality ban? I haven't checked, so I don't know. We're going to go to Little Fusion. Currently P19, a second up. Nicely through the S section, the fast corners. A bit loose, as you can see them miniature corrections in the car. That's the Red Bull for you. We saw on TV to bigger effect. Third gear through there, getting his fourth. Second through that mini hairpin. Exiting the stadium section onto the final corner, run to the line. Another correction. And it's going to be a 16-0, joins TV near. Not a great opening laps from the Red Bulls. Josh currently on the lap, getting a great tow from TV. I'm not going to go off board because he's currently missing his nose. That's not optimal. Josh, P9 on the run. Good lap from him. See if he can improve. 3 minutes 40 left of the session. Josh, 2/10 up. That tow really paying dividends in sector 1. Now let's see if he can keep this lap together throughout the whole thing. We're going to jump to Jack Miles, who apparently improved by 2/10. Sorry Jack, didn't see you mate. Nisev is on a lap I think, a 10th. Up, goes P6! We did see that. If he cleaned up that stadium section, was going to be up there, and he did. Josh retains that advantage, gains on it, 3.3 tenths up in the stadium section. This will currently put him P7, which is a fantastic lap from the Haas driver. Now, run to the line, foot to the floor, ERS active. Where's it going to put him? P6 ahead of Nissan. Great lap from Josh. I think that's put him safe. Goatley, can Goatley jump up to it with his teammate? Short shift to fourth to gain that extra traction. Can he jump up to where his teammate is? Short answer is no. He does jump up to P12, but will it be enough considering so many more people need to improve on their lap? I'm going to go to J&T, who's a 1.69 tenths up. Nice. Into the double right. Oh, he's lost the rear end. I think that lap might be discarded, but he looks like he's pushing on. I respect the resilience. Like the tier 3 driver, I think, for next season, Ferrari. Nobody else on the lap. One driver on his in lap ahead, one driver on his out lap ahead. The carb gets out the way, and J&T goes for a spin. That might seem out of qualifying, to be honest. He has a minute 46, unless he can go on a cooldown lap, recharge that battery, and if he has enough fuel. But he's going to pit, so that's J&T out of qualifying. That's one guaranteed out, so that's better for the Red Bulls, who are only 11th and 14th. Speaking of the Red Bulls, TB finishing his lap off. It's very repetitive saying run to the line, but he's going to do it once more. Goes P8 for his final lap. 5 tenths off of the card. Not a good look for TB. There's a Sauber starting a lap. Williams starting a lap, so we'll jump to them. Maxwell barely up on his time in sector 1. Night Owl starts his lap. Loris jumps up to P13, I think. 8 tenths up. Good lap from him. Goatley goes for another push lap. Let's go back to the Williams of Maxwell. Can see himself out of here. Not the greatest of S sections, but will it be enough to yield the time? 2 tenths up. He just needs 2 tenths to get out, but will it be enough though? In the Williams, Maxwell G, the Swedish driver, loses it on the rears. Now, foot to the floor, pedal to the metal, to the line. Will it be enough? No, Maxwell is out. I think Fusion starting a lap from getting a nice tow from Maxwell. Beatnik, P11, Phoenix through! The guy who always complains about his pace is through provisionally ahead of Penguin. 3 drivers behind him are out. Beatnik is through. Can Night Owl find the time to get out? His teammate didn't. Can Night Owl get out? He can. Provisionally P13. then Goatley finishing off his lap, he's invalidated, so never mind. Loris is on a lap. Fusion, if he messes his lap up here, could be out of qualifying. A Red Bull out in Q1. Hasn't happened for a long time, I don't think. I'm not up to date on RPL F1 history or results. Fusion does need time though. He only needs about a tenth. I think he was about a tenth and a half up. He is a tenth and a half up. He just needs to hold his lap together through the stadium section to out of Q1. Savage is out. I'm not surprised he's tier 3 and in a Sauber. But we do have a Sauber through to Q2 at the moment. Jack Miles is knocked out. Little Fusion, can he get himself out of the bottom 5? He can. P8. I think that does wrap it up for Q1. 1.3 separating P18 to P1 and just under a tenth separating P18 to P15. Very close. One minuscule mistake and you'll be out. And that's what Maxwell, Jack, Savage, JNT and somebody else faced. I don't know who the last one is. So we'll see on the results screen. I still don't know who got out in Q1. I think it was Loris in the Aston Martin. Skither did disconnect. I did say I was going to invite him, and I forgot. A whole heap of cars coming out for their first laps. Yeah. So, Beatnik. Oh, and they're going side by side in the pit lane. First time for everything. Haven't seen this in a while. It's Fusion and a Ferrari. I'm assuming it's shorts. Unfortunately, it'll be 10 times better if it was blonde. Beatnik through to Q3. Well done to him. Saying, move me down to tier 2. Oh, Beatnik, my good sir, you through to Q2 in a Sauber. So, I don't think you are tier 2 pace. He will be the first one to start a lap. And I will sit off board with him, because a lot of green is going into my eyes, and I don't like it on board. Is he going to start his lap though? He did do 2 warm-up laps last time. He is starting his lap. And there was the ERS. I don't know why I hid the UI, but oh well. Into turn 1. I will go on board for turn 1 though. I want to see how he does. A bit hesitant on turning. Gives us a couple of jabs like Prime Checo Perez in 2024. Very tentative on turning on the throttle. Maybe use tyres. A lot of people do use tyre runs in the first run of Q2. Phoenix sets a 28-1. those behind, Night Owl didn't see what he set, so we'll see when they cross the line. Coin payments, it says on the back of the ribbon of the Sauber. Look at that, great view. Night Owl looked a bit unsettled there, off board, but we don't care about Night Owl at the moment. We care about Beatnik 714, the American driver from Las Vegas. Mexico, not too far away. A massive power slide like you do in a Fortnite buggy, the golf carts. That's probably cost him time. And we'll see when he crosses the line, he's going to do a 17.4, which isn't great. Gecko does a 15.1, which is good. Night Owl seems to have invalidated. There's an Alpine if I can get to him. Next up, 16.4 for Union. A V-Carb. Oh, I'll scroll to him. Nisev, very good in Q1 and very good so far in Q2. Reese Dainty invalidated. What a noob. Josh looks very quick alongside Nisev. Goes P4. Little Fusion finally pulling the finger out. Goes P2. Goatley P6. Only 0.3 quicker. Shorts P2. Goatley only 0.3 quicker than Beatnik. Currently bottom of the time set so far. I think one of them counts. I think Cookie's on a lap. 27.6, 5/10 quicker than Beatnik. And that's the only reference time I know, because that's the only person I sat on. A bit wide, you may say, on the exit of that corner, but into the fast corners where the McLaren should be dominant on. However, Cookie is a pad player, so I don't think it'll help him too much these corners. Fighting the car through the S section. Now entering the stadium section. Let's see how he handles it. Handles it beautifully. I take my 3 words back. He's handled it woefully. He's invalidated. I think we'll still finish the lap to have a delta. And we'll see where this would have put him. A 15.3, 2/10 behind Gecko, 1/10 behind, or ahead of Shorts. My apologies. Skidder on his out lap, Shorts finished his lap, and there's nothing to do for a bit but watch Skidder on his out lap. Skidder setting himself up for a lap. Running the default livery, no chrome livery for the McLaren driver, Beatnik, and Union exiting the pit lane. Shorts as well in the back, I think. Sorry, blonde. All for their second runs, but we're focusing on this man, Skidder. A full American lineup for McLaren today. Skidder is not setting a lap, so he's doing another cool down lap, as we saw Beatnik do in the latter runs of Q1. Torn Penguin starts the lap. Replaced Dominic as a driver for this season. Dominic scored points last season in Silverstone, reversed to the P9. Did have a contract, but they terminated it and went for Torn Penguin alongside Alex Norris, who isn't here today as he's abroad, as he's on a work thing. So they have reserves every week. This week with Norris. Penguin backs out after the first couple of corners, like Skidder. TB starting a lap. TV on his first run sets a 27.8 for the first sector. I think about 2/10 of Cookie's invalidated time. And you gotta love the rear end of the Red Bull there. And I've just seen who pop up to... think I just missed Union pop-up. I don't know. I missed it, that's what matters. I was focused on TV, not my fault, as TV is going to hit the Sector 2 time marker anytime now, 56.5. Not representative, he did have a massive power slide at the start of Sector 2 essentially. Not looking too confident with the Red Bull today. Penguin starts another lap, but TV only sets a 16.2, 2/10 behind Nisev in the V-carb. F1 Union on a lap, 6/10 up. Good showing from him so far. Would put him at 15.8 P4 if he holds the lap together through the stadium section. Rides that curve nicely. Alpine notoriously an understeery car. Would suit this track low-key as it makes the car more oversteery, as Union sets a 15.3, a very good time for the Alpine. This fella short's 5/10 up. I want to focus on his teammate, Blonde. A 14.7, fastest of them all. Cookie starting the lap. I need to go to the young one of the grid. Very tight on the run to the line. Goes fastest with the 14.5, 2/10 clear of his teammate. Torn Penguin invalidated. TV is on his cooldown lap. I think Goatley is on push lap. A 10th down and invalid. So not very optimal. I'll watch a bit of Cookie. Cookie sets a 27.6 for the first sector once more. Equal to his invalid time. Doesn't have a massive tank slapper midway through the corner over there. Sets himself up nicely into these corners. Left, right, left, right, left, right. In real life, we'll put a bit of strain on the neck, and on this game, we'll put a bit of strain on Cookie's fingers as he's on pad. So it's a 55.4, 2/10 quicker than Blonde's time of 55.6 in the second sector, if I'm not mistaken. Exiting the stadium sector and going to the line, a bit all over the place there, and sets a 14.6. Just quicker than Blonde. I want to watch a bit of Beatnik. Almost 4/10 up and crosses the line, does a 16.5, P10 provisionally and through at the moment. But obviously you haven't seen the best of Reese, Skiver or Nighthole yet, and Torn Penguin, who's on a lap, I think. Was on a lap, 1.1 up and then invalid. Goatley on a lap. A lot of drivers understeering into that corner. Maybe it's the camber, or it's the setups, or it's the track. See a lot of cars understeer there. Only Red Bull oversteering like a shitbox. Sorry for language. Oversteering into that corner. Neural Fusion on the lap. 4.8 tenths up. Almost 4.9 tenths up. Very careful, very delicate on the throttle. You have to be in the Red Bull. You don't want it snapping suddenly on you. Neural Fusion improves by 6/10, on par with Gecko's time, but doesn't improve the position. Cookie, I think, giving us toe to Skither. Skither's currently going 4th gear and about 4 miles per hour here. Interesting. Cookie's retired, thinks he's safe. Probably is. Beatnik's revving his engine out. Skither, I still don't know what he's doing. He's going now. Probably, I don't know. I think his pedals broke because that input looks like AI now. Yeah, issues for him. No issues with Gecko on the other hand, entering the stadium section. Puts an awful amount of wheel lock to get that car rotated in, which you have to do sometimes with the Mercedes. An understeery car like the Aston Martin, like the Alpine. Gecko sets a 14.6, which I think, like, as I said with the understeer, is suiting the cars. Like Aston's through to Q2, Alpine currently P6, V-Carb's a bit of an understeery car as well, from what I've driven of it, and they're all in the top 10 by the Aston. So a strong track for the understeer cars. Has Skidder fixed his thing? I don't know. I'm gonna watch his telemetry. Or I must have just been tripping and made up a fake thing. 20 seconds up on his time. Not surprised, it was a 38.4, his banker. Needs to stop desperately to get through. Actually, I just noticed 2 minutes left on the clock. Skidder to the line, a 14.9 should be enough unless everybody turns to prime Max Verstappen. Aston Martin starting his lap, I think. Or TB starting his lap. Now, currently on the cusp of elimination, as Torn and Night Owl do need to set laps. TB does need a good lap, currently driving like his idol Yuki Tsunoda, not too quick, 1.1 seconds off his teammate, and quite slow, only a tenth up in Sector 1. We did see a slide into this corner here. Does he keep it stable? He keeps the car stable, keeps the car planted to the track, keeps it somewhat on rails. Now, can he keep it on rails through here? He can. Decent through here. Nice and perfectly. Looks very settled for the first time today. That Red Bull and TB. 7 tenths up. That's more like it. Puts him closer to his teammate. Puts him closer to Q3. TB will only put him P8, I think. 7 tenths of improvement. But he could find a second here. Does he find a second? He does and goes P6. Should be enough. As I think Tom Penguin just went P9. Whoops, sorry mate, missed you. V-Carb of Nisev, he's preparing for another lap. Night Owl is finishing his lap. His first and only lap on the session, will it be enough to go through? It will provisionally, but I feel like that's at massive risk. Especially to the likes of Reese, the likes of Josh and Nisev. Will Goatley put himself through? He's good at this track, P11, got his first Q3 and only Q3. Or is one of 2 Q3s at this track in F124. Reese Dainty, currently P50, needs a good lap, and I think he has had a good lap. Good enough for P7 only. Will it be enough? That is the question. I think it will. Beatnik, he'd love to get this car through to Q3. No, misses out, P11. I'm struggling here. Josh, 4 tenths up. Only enough for P12. Josh falling off a cliff. Union does whatever he wants over the line. It's all up to Nisev to knock Torn Penguin out. Currently 5 tenths up. Almost 6. If he absolutely nails this stadium section, he'll be through to Q3. Bit all over the gaff in Sector 3 there. Now, Nisev would love to get this car through to Q3 and does. P9 knocks Tom Penguin out. Alongside Beatnik P12, great showing in the Sauber. I respect the effort wholeheartedly. Josh P13, Night Owl 14 and Goatley 15. Shorts top of Q2 with a 14.5, looking good for the Ferrari man at the moment. Hasn't won in any tier he's raced in RPL. Looking good, maybe for a podium. Unknown about to win, as we don't know the weather because I'm not asked, checking it on a driver's stream once the race starts or in quali. But Shorts setting himself up nicely for Q3 with the fastest time, followed by Gecko, Cookie, Blonde, Skidder, TB, Reese, Fusion, Nisev and Union for the top 10 for the next qualifying session. have to respect Beatnik. Only 1.2 tenths off Q3 in that Sauber. Great showing from him. Hopefully he can translate that pace into the race and maybe pick up a point for Sauber, who only scored 6 points last season due to Alex Norris's efforts in Abu Dhabi, if I'm not mistaken. I'll check that actually, just on my phone. Actually I won't check that, I'm going to go off vibes and hope I got it right. Another little side-by-side moment between Gecko and Cookie, I think it was. It's good, sorry. Same person, both American. Who should I watch? I'll watch Union because he's in Alpine in Q3, I guess. The first laps. Actually, I'll watch together. Hopefully Skither doesn't get his wheel locked in fourth again starting this lap. That's why he was trundling along here last time in Q2. Seems he has started his lap fine, and he's going to open the big letterbox in the rear wing and is going to push him along into turn 1. Now I'm going to get on board with him. Uses all of the entry curb to the left available, doesn't actually ride any of the turn 1 curb, rides the turn 2 and 3 curb, uses the exit curb on the left. Now, that's a very quick sector 1, feels quite long, but in terms of corners, quite short. 27.7 for the McLaren driver, 5th gear, and it's locked him, and that's his lap ruined. Rest in peace your wheel, my friend. Now, Gecko's wheel hasn't locked him in 5th gear for some unknown reason, but Gecko, we're going to watch him. Skither ahead, whose wheel is trying to blow itself up and sabotage him. Gecko now. Flat round there, flat round here. George Russell moments for Gecko in the Mercedes. Burning the battery down to about 5%. 4th gear through that right hand corner, entering the stadium section. 3rd gear through the hairpin. Now on to the exit of the final corner. So Charlotte died and just suboptimal, as you see, short still 14-2, which I did say, which is a good start for him. Cookie with the 14-3, as I was saying, Shorts with the 14-2, setting himself up nicely. Cookie with the 14-3, Gecko with the 14-3 as well. Union with the 15-8, Skither with the 14-4 now. Neural Fusion invalid. Blonde not invalid, and will finish his lap. See what it is. Will he match his teammate? Is the question. No, is the short answer. 3/10 off. We're gonna watch restage because he's just past turn 3. 27.6 in the first sector, which was faster than Skither's first sector on his first lap. So maybe the Merc running a bit on the low side for the wings. McLaren running a bit high will help them a lot through here. But obviously this meta on this game is low wing, so maybe they might not do well in the race. But I think Reese got a massive toe from Gecko behind on the pit straight. Through the stadium section, sparking on the bottom of the car. Round this turn, round that turn, and then you're just going to see the line. Approaching very quickly actually. A 15-1 for Reese, P6. Nisev got his tractor through to Q3, he says. A Hugo Boss V-Carb Visa Cash Up Racing Balls car, where can you put it, with a 16.6, but that's most likely on used tyres. Now in this interval I'm going to grab a drink. If my eyes do not deceive me, I see a McLaren going around the final corner of Skither, and he's pitting. So my eyes did not deceive me, but I was deceived by Skither, not on a lap. As we see a third spin at the corner, and this is doing a nice drift. Great car control, to a certain degree. Neural Fusion a bit early on his outlap here. I don't think he will be impeded by traffic, but there is a possibility that could hinder it. Maybe help him. You might pick up a toe from traffic on the long straights of Mexico. As you see, Neural Fusion starting his lap. Tier 2 champion from last season. Dominated in the McLaren. He's had his fair share of runnings in the Red Bull in Tier 1. Had it in China, beat Andrea after Stewart's penalties. And I think he had it for another race. I'll check it in a bit, because the phone just died on me. 27.8. Not the quickest sector ones, but both Red Bulls have been in around that margin of that high 28, not really pushing the mid 27, sorry, of sector 1, but sector 1 doesn't really matter. This is where you can gain and lose so much time. One minor mistake, you're facing backwards or in a wall. Fusion did take that very nicely. You should be aiming for around a 55.6 in the second sector. 55.7 isn't too shabby. Stadium section, not been the kindest to many people in this qualifying session. Fusion navigates it quite well, navigates that corner quite well, and now he's going to put foot to the floor, ERS enabled, and to the line, a 49, P6, 4/10 off Blonde. I think he might go for another lap, recharge the pack, and go for another one. I'm not sure, but we'll see when we get there. We'll cross the bridge when we get there. Cookies starting a lap, a pole contender. A bit behind Shorts, but Cookie's more of a race pace merchant anyways. But you wouldn't like to start on pole around here due to that massive long straight. You're gonna pick up a toe into turn 1. You can send it, cause an incident if you want, but you never know. Cookie, sector 1, a 27.5. Wow, 3/10 quicker than Fusion. I'm not sure if it's on par with the Ferraris. I'm not checking because that will interrupt this lap of Cookies so far. Through here, cars on rails. Use those curves as rails. A bit of the once a bit of a dip on the right hand side. Use it to help the car turn in. Cookie's gone wide and bottled it. Absolute rookie, mate. Rookie error. Who's on the lap then? I think TB's the only one on the lap. Actually, Skidder is. My mistake, you can see. Skidder's not on the lap, never mind. Another mistake. Fusion retires in the pit, so he did not fuel up for 2 laps. 27.7 for TB. 1.1 quicker than his teammate actually would. And that might put him around the P7 area once all final runs are done. TB doesn't use those curves, as I was saying, the serrated curves, doesn't use them as rails like Cookie did to let the car turn in. Use them to guide the car, as Martin Brundle would say. At 55.5, quite good for TB, around 3/10 quicker than his teammate overall, which would put him, it could put him in contention for that P5 spot with Blonde. TB struggled through Q1 and Q2 due to the lack of rear end of the Red Bull. Has he finally found his mojo? He somewhat has with the 14.8, 3/10 off Blonde. Currently P6, P7 for the Red Bulls. Nisev, almost a second up on his time. Entering the stadium section, keeps it valid. I've seen, as I said many times, I have seen people understay wide invalidate their times. But Nisev does not do it on that time round. He has looked very quick in this 3 qualifying sessions so far. Currently P7. Cookie pits. That's him done. Shorts. Can he extend his pole margin? No, he's 4 seconds off. I did not see he was. Gecko a bit behind his time. And I don't think he will snatch pole unless he pulls out a mega final 2 corners. To the line. Can Gecko snatch pole? No, he can't. Barely improved on his time. Blonde. P2 is a 1-2 for Ferrari. Skidder bounces back from his wheel troubles and takes pole position. Currently, can Reese say anything about it? I don't think he's going to say much about it. Goes P6, good for him. Union, looking quick, P9 ahead of a Red Bull. Well done to you, Union. You've looked good. Nisev, you've looked good. But it's Skidder on pole. The man who had wheel troubles through Q2, Q1, and sticks it on pole. Hopefully, fingers crossed, touch wood, whatever luck ritual you can do. Hopefully, he doesn't get wheel troubles off the start of the race. But it is a Ferrari sandwich with Skidder leading line for McLaren. 2 Ferraris of Shorts and Blonde in behind. P4 belongs to Cookie. P5 Gecko. P6 Reese. P7 Fake TB. P8 Nisev. Sorry again, Union P9 and Little Fusion P10. And a very close top 4, top 5, separated by 0.07 the top 4 and only a 10th the top 5. We're in for a real treat here in Tier 1. So, a full 20 grid here in Mexico. Going to be an interesting one. I think the normal strategy around here is a two-stopper. Skidder did say he's going to try and ambitious and a great English. I'm going to restart. So, full 20 grid here in Mexico. The strategy normally is a two-stop. Skidder did message me saying he will try something ambitious and maybe a one-stopper. Maybe a three-stopper, you never know. Could want the fresh tyres at all times. It'll be a two-stopper for everybody, I think. I'd imagine. I've only seen McLaren pull off a one-stopper around these ends of Mexico. It'll be interesting to see what people start on, actually. I'm going to check that. Everybody on mediums, bar Loris Karius and JNT on the hard tyres. Maxwell G joins them on the hard tyres. Chocolate Chip Cookie and Skidder, the McLarens, both on the hard tyres. Maybe they want to go long and try an audacious one-stop, I must say. Maybe. We'll see how the race pans out. Both Ferraris on mediums. They could get an early jump on Skidder and go 1-2. Invade will be celebrating through the screen with Cam as all we're going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Red lights, and away we go here in Tier 1. It feels like a good start for Skidder. Better start for Shorts though. He's going to take the lead before turn 1. Cookie as well. Jumps blonde. P3. 3 wide. 4. P2. Cookie down the inside. Oh, the bit of contact. Cookie jumps out to P4. As I said, Ferrari. P1. P2. 1, 2 for Ferrari. McLaren's have had an absolute stinker. Dropping to P3. P4. 5. Cookie bustling away with Gecko for that 4th place spot. We've had a spin with Savage beating X1 as well. No, he had a great qualifying. That's all been undone in the Salva. Savage has another spin. Cookie's hit the wall. What's just happened there? He has damage. He definitely has to pit as Reese jumps to P5 and Cookie is tumbling down the order with that wing damage. I'm not going on board because there's a stupid red glitch. It's unfortunate for Cookie, and even more unfortunate for McLaren, who go from P1, P4 to P3, P10. As you see, a dive from Josh there with a bit of wing damage, with contact with Union, and there's an instant there that allows Loris Karius to capitalise on it. As Cookie does pit, as you saw. I think Union put Jack in the wall almost. I feel like there's going to be a bit of a drag race here. I will leave the lobby in a second after like the 3rd lap. Drag race here. As Jack is going to try and go around the outside of Torn Penguin. They're going to wheel lock. He's going to get squeezed to the inside. That's going to allow Union to fly around the outside of the pair of them. Through goes Hamilton moment for Union. Great stuff from him. But will Jack, Miles look for a dive down the inside. He looks for one. Union leaves the space. 3 wide. Absolute cluster mayhem there. More wheel locking with Jack and Penguin. As Loris Karius. Somebody spun. I don't know what's happening. There's too much chaos. Stop hitting each other, guys. Penguin has damage. It's hit the polystyrene board. Sent it everywhere. Will Penguin send it down the inside? No, State Farm Goatley's had a great start up into the points. He does like this track. Night Owl up into P8. Good stuff from him. Now back to the front runners. It's a Ferrari 1-2 at the moment with Skidder dropping out of DRS behind as Gecko goes flying past with the massive letterbox. I think Reese also goes flying past. Will he lose another place? TB goes flying past. It's not. Skidder's just gone from 3rd to 6th in the matter of a straight. But Skidder is playing the long game. He's on those harder, more durable compounder tyres. These lot in front of him are not. He's also trying an audacious strategy. Don't know what he's going to do. Currently P6. We'll see what he can do from there. I'm going to leave the lobby and hopefully it sorts the rev glitch out because I don't want ears to be bleeding after this race. So, not much change here, as Skither's going to try and look for a move on the Red Bull TV. Down the inside, great move, 2-in-1 maybe, sends it on Reese 80, bit of wheel banging. Will he go for a switcheroo? Nisev looking for a move on TB. TB gets squeezed off the track by Skither. Might be a report into the students' room, but stays P6, Skither P5, Reese P4, Nisev absolutely flying in the V-Cub. Only scored 8 points this season, P7 currently. Looking at the back of TV saying, I want that Red Bull to be behind me in my mirrors. As the top 3 have streaked away, with Shorts leading the way by 8/10 to his teammate Blonde 9/10. Could he try and break DRS to Blonde? I don't think he should. He should play it like Carlos Sainz did in Singapore 2024. Keep him in DRS. You let him defend for you. That would be good for you. As Blonde, did he pick up the DRS? He did. Did drop out from the magic 1 second gap. I don't think we'll see any moves. We'll see a move for P4 there. Skither might fly past. The Mercedes, and he does. Nisev on the back of the Red Bull. Don't think he wants to go for a move. I've disconnected from a party, which is brilliant, so let me just join that back. As you did see a move there for, I think, P15. This little train here forming. Beating back in the train. Good for him. He had a spin. Savage pit as well, I think. Unless he's spun about 5 times. 4 trains forming in this race. You have the top 4 train. The P4, P5, P6, 7 train. You have the train from P8 to P11. You have this train from P12 to P18, led by an Alpine and ended by an Alpine. And what's just happened? I think I've disconnected, which is brilliant. Take 3 of trying to join a lobby. I love F1 25, man. Best game. I recommend it to everybody. Servers are great. They're the best part of this game. As we rejoin the lobby for the 3rd time. Oh, we had a spin. I don't know, the yellow flags. Oh, Savage retires in the pits. As you see, Loris and Union side by side going into the fast corners. Jack Miles goes through on both of them. Previously, he's up in the P11. He's quite good around here, but I think he does shred his tyres, which will hinder him a lot. Skither did get past Reese, who has been dropped by 3 seconds. Reese struggling for pace in the Mercedes, it seems. TB and Nisev might go for a move on the back of him here. Unless there was an incident that I haven't been aware of. Well, I just disconnected from the lobby, so I'll blame F1 25 for that, as you will see TB look for the outside line of Reese and does go past him. Picks up grass on his left tyre there, front left. So it might hinder him. And also, Shorts breaks DRS to Gecko. Good stuff from him. Hopefully he builds on that well as Little Fusion boxes. Could be a 2-stop, go for the undercut. Hopefully jump back up into the points where the Red Bull should be and not P15. Goatley up to P8 as well. Night Owl 9th, Horn Penguin 10th, Nisev 7th, Reese 6th, Tavy 5th. Top 4, as you can see, are them. We should see Union pick for 3 seconds, so that won't help him. And we see Blonde go awfully wide. Little Fusion and Josh battling out for P18 as well. Could look for a switchback here, Josh. No, sits behind. We did see Blonde go wide, who just peeled off into the pit lane. Looks like he did cut the pit entry line. Early pit stops for those medium runners. Nisev, as we see Blonde go on to hards. You may want to exit the pit lane. Never mind, it's a glitch. Goatley also boxed. Gecko putting the pressure on Shorts now. Close that gap from 1.2 seconds to 0.5, as they also see Skither closing in on them. Like the shark from Jaws closing in on them. Shorts looking for his first race win in RPL ever, as he's not won a single race in every tier he's participated in. F2, Tier 3, Tier 2, Tier 1. Has scored podiums in all tiers, just not a win. Not a single career win. Was very close in F2, but he lost it over the line to Jack Miles, who's currently P9. Under pressure from Loris Carrier, sir. Loris Carrier, sorry, I'm going to start calling him Loris because I feel bad. Short comes into the pit lane for the undercut. Loris looking a lot better in the race. Looked very shaky in qualifying. Those hard tyres really coming alive for the likes of Loris and Skither, as we see a move for the lead maybe. Dummies the move into turn 1. I think he should have went for that, but that's just me personally. Will he look for a move here on Gecko Skither? Gecko moves to the left, doesn't fight it too hard, 3 charges and lets him fly by, and Skither can now focus on his tyres, focus on the strategy he is doing. Cookie pitted that one, obviously, due to the incident he had. Did damage his front wing, repaired it, comes out provisionally P4, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Reese was P5 or P4. So he has undercut, technically moved back into the top 5, but I feel like his tyres may have taken a bit of a beating here. Little Fusion has been passed by Josh 433. Little Fusion, I feel like he's forgotten a setup or something. He's not this slow, surely. Struggling a lot for that. What's just happened to Skither? I think Skither's lagging. What? Skither's just been screwed over by the game once more. He was about a second clear of Gecko, now 5 seconds back, so he's lost about 6 seconds. I think that was a screw freeze, as you see a whole heap of people into the pit lane. 3, sorry, not a heap. TB, Nisev and Taunt Penguin. Jack and Loris both continue. ERN Maxwell G will look for a move on Jack, and does pass him with ease. As you see a whole cluster of cars here. Shorts in traffic, under pressure from Union, as Union tries to get around the outside. Ambitious, audacious, loses the rear end, tries his hardest, fighting both Ferraris, the elbows out. Good defense here. Blonde down the inside, Union squeezes him. Union tries to go around the outside once more, runs out of grip, gets by. As Shorts also gets by Jack Miles, as you see JNT putting pressure on his teammate here. Good fighting from Union, nice and clean, aggressive, elbows out. Blonde goes past Jack. Jack makes it very easy for the Ferraris. Jack knows those Ferraris are not his fight. F1 Shorts on the back of Maxwell, cutting through this pack like hot butter through knife. Hot knife through butter. Absolutely scintillating words. Maxwell goes wide and will lose the position to Blonde. Or will he? He will lose the position to Blonde. Plays a DRS game there, I think. Braked early, so Blonde could have that DRS. Did it work out for him though? Jack and Jack in Union pit. Maxwell does have the DRS. Will he try and go for a move on Blonde, or is he just going to use Blonde as that toe through the race? As Shorts gets past Loris not putting much of a fight here. He is on a completely different strategy to Shorts. He hasn't pit, he's a back marker. Shorts dispatches him on the straight. Union and Jack come out, P17, P18. As you see, Reese and Cookie fighting. Cookie obviously on those 10 lap old hards. Reese on fresh pair of boots, so you obviously have more grip and pace than than Cookie, sorry. TB behind on fresh mediums will look to dispatch Cookie quite quickly, as that would be beneficial for his race. Cookie is doing a good job here, sticking to Reese so he doesn't fly away into the distance, as they do catch up to back market traffic of JNT soon. Goatley currently P12. Said before he loves his track, he likes his track. He said, I've been playing a lot of iRacing here. The F1 version of Mexico, terrible. iRacing, brilliant. But doesn't really matter at the moment. Currently P12 as Blonde gets past Loris on this raid. Loris not putting up much of a fight still. As you see a whole train of cars, it looks like TB on the back of Cookie. TB will look to the outside, Cookie defends the inside, shuts the door, so TB doesn't look for a late send around the outside. TB could try and set the move up here, into turn 4. Don't think he will. Cookie running desperately low on ERS. Will be under threat from TB. Early braking from JNT. It's going to be 3 wide. Will there be contact? There will be contact. Cookie goes off the track. JNT drops to P10. TB does get past Cookie. Cookie gets a legal overtake on JNT, which was obviously going to happen considering he did go off track and overtake him. TB, P8 gets past Cookie. Jack and Union scrapping out. These two have had their fair amount of collisions, especially in Baku last season. Them two got a bit argy-bargy with each other. Union says, screw you, Jack, I'm going to hit you a couple of times. Jack shows the aggression back as JNT lets Cookie by as he is the academy teammate. However, that's not a very good place to let Cookie by because JNT will have DRS and Cookie won't. And Cookie has got 30% DRS. As Shorts dispatches Skidder. Skidder still has not pit. I think Skidder will be doing that one stop. He needs to stick to Cookie, not Cookie. He needs to stick to Shorts. I hope his game, his PC's wheel don't blow up and negatively affect him, hinder him. As Reese gets past Maxwell, he needs to now stick with Shorts, stick with the people on the 2 stoppers, so he doesn't lose too much time. I think he's had another screen freeze or something. It's been a wretched race for him. Yeah, I think he's having issues. He's dropped 12 seconds to Gecko. He was a second clear of him. He had those lag spikes, the screen freezes. He's dropped so much. CB up to P7. He's had those screen freezes. He's had the issues. I don't think it's his fault, but it has not helped him one single bit as he sees himself now almost 14 seconds behind Gecko. Gecko also now peels into the pits. 13 laps on those mediums, mega stint from him. Now has that tyre delta over the Ferraris of Shorts and Blonde. Jack Miles picks up a 3-second track limit time penalty. Skidder goes defensive, weaving, breaking the toe, doesn't want to let Blonde by. But if you are Blonde, you give him no choice. He has that Ferrari power unit, he has the lack of drag. And he's going to choose the outside lane. Skidder breaks deep. He's going to squeeze Blonde into turn 2, saying, no, I'm not going to let you by. Blonde has the fresher tyres. You'll get the power down. Better, more traction. And flies by Skidder, who's stuck in second gear. So, another thing that's not helped Skidder at all. But I feel like he's going to get past, no matter what. As Goatley and Night Owl go side by side. Goatley off the track. Night Owl looking to get past. Goatley squeezes him to the right hand side, and I think Night Owl will be ahead. And Night Owl does go deep, gives Goatley more encouragement. And Goatley look for a switchback. No. There is something. Skidder's spun. He's had a horrible time. None of his fault, I don't think. His wheel, his PC, his game just giving up on him. It's just wretched. McLaren having a woeful race so far. I think we will see a retirement in the pits, but I think we will, but it'll be totally justified. Reese with Loris. I thought he dispatched him earlier. Seems he hasn't. Loris has really overtaken him. Loris will be a sitting duck to these 2 cars. Here. Gecko and Reese both have their letterboxes open. Will Loris go defensive? He's using his battery. Reese goes to the inside. Will Gecko look for a move down the inside as well? Yes, Reese ahead. P3, P4 for the Merc boys. P1, P2 for the Ferrari boys. Shorts' win. looking like more and more likely here. As you see, Goatley and Night Owl scrap once more. Night Owl goes around the outside, little wheel banging between Goatley and Night Owl, and Goatley's in a wall. Really unfortunate for Goatley. He looked so good this race. Actually had the pace for once, and he's been taken out by Night Owl and will be soon overtaken by Union. Unfortunate contact for him as Goatley drops from P12 to P16. Fusion P11 here, as you see Loris getting passed by TB, by Tuberculosis. TB having a better race than qualifying, looked really shaky in qualifying, I must say, Q1, Q2, all over the place. Maybe minor setup tweaks have helped him a lot, maybe. Cookie looking to get past Loris as well, as JNT, I don't know what's happened, to be honest. I think Maxwell's, I don't know, man. Jack Miles and Union do go past Goatley, beating Spun. As will we see Cookie try and get past Loris, who is using all of the battery to try and get past TB. Contact. Cookie sent it down the inside. More contact. Loris been sent over the curb as Cookie barges his way past into P6. Now gives Nisev more encouragement to get back into DRS range of Cookie. Nisev, if these two pit ahead, is currently in a P6 position here. Reece Dainty did let Gecko by. I must have missed that, but I blame F1 as usual. Hate the game, not the player, as Skidder. Skidder still hasn't retired. I thought he retired. I thought he was going to retire. He's cut the track. It's just been abysmal, to be honest. I'd say pack your bag, save the engine, Skidder, retire. Prepare your wheel for next week. Prepare your wheel for your next race, your esports race, whatever, mate. Just hope for the best. P19 did have a great qualifying lap, Sauber. What's unfortunate is let him down this race. Reece slowly dropping out of the back of Gecko. Gecko on the fresh tyres compared to the old runners of hards on the Ferrari. It says Cookie gets past TB. Up to P5 for Cookie. He wants to be up where the podium is. Has almost double the age of tyres of the Ferraris and 5 times the tyre age of Gecko. Josh gets past Torn Penguin. Torn Penguin's mediums might be dying now. Almost halfway through the race. Could be looking for another pit stop. As Goatley and Skidder, the men with damage. As Goatley with in-game damage. Skidder with probably mental and physical damage to his wheel. Skidder waving the DRS flap to Cookie. Not Cookie. Goatley. Beaning pits to soft. So you have a massive train here. From P14 to P9. With Maxwell leading it and Torn Penguin at the back. Top 7. Nobody's in DRS range. Top 8, however. Number 69 Nisev in DRS of Loris. Really caught up to the back of Loris. Loris doing a mega stint, by the way, on those one set of hards. Going very strong, but I feel like I think Nisev may usurp this P7 from Loris. In the V Cup, only scored 8 points this season, that team. Could be looking at another 6. Could, potentially, if it gets past Loris. Neural Fusion into the points, gets past JNT Gaming. JNT, I don't know why I call him by his old Xbox game tag. Fusion, not the best of qualifying, it's not the best of starts either. Dropped down to the lowest of P15. Looking at a minimum of P9 maybe. Night Owl gets past JNT. Maxwell goes very deep. Fusion says thank you very much. I'll go around the outside. Never mind, I pick up in 3 seconds. But I'll say you push me off, I'm going to report it to the stewards. And gets past P9, and regardless of the fact, as Maxwell lets his teammate Night Owl by, who's on that 2-stopper, he's on the 1-stopper. Difference of strategies, so it'll be quite easy for him. I think Short just picked up DRS from Beatnik, the lap car. JNT also passes Maxwell G. Maxwell struggling on those tyres, undisted wide, Going to lose to a car who has no wing. Obviously, not actually. It's just a glitch. As Cookie peels into the pit lane for a second set of hards. Union picks up another 3 seconds. I think there's 6 seconds for him. As we see Torn Penguin past Joshua Pitts. Night Owl on the back of Fusion, beating it, picking up another 3 seconds. Night Owl locks the inside right somehow. I am confused on how he's done that, but I won't question it. He will be looking for that P8 ahead of Fusion. They were fighting for wins in Tier 2 at one point, I'm fairly sure. Now, one's in Tier 1 permanently, one's as a reserve. Night Owl the reserve, Fusion permanently. Fusion in the Red Bull, Night Owl in the Williams. I don't think Fusion will be too happy with his performance today. Might not be too happy with other people's driving standards today. As Blonde has spun, lost his front wing. Oh dearie me, that is not optimal. He picks up a 10 seconds for cutting the corner as well. Damage on 10 seconds. Wow. And he's going to peel off in the pit lane, serve the 10 seconds, and lose a heap of time. Blonde bottles a P124 Ferrari. Wow me. Even TB and Fusion haven't spun in the lackluster Red Bull of the rear wing. As Cookie gets past Union. Nisef pits from his mediums. Fusion moves up to P6. Night Owl looking for a move on Fusion maybe. He has about 10% ERS left. Could you look for it in turn 1? No. Fusion defending quite well. Focusing smartly on his exit of that final corner to try and negate the effects of Night Owl's DRS slipstream combination. Well, to be fair, I don't think ERS is a combination for Night Owl, considering he has about 8% of it. But regardless, Fusion is driving quite nicely and smartly. Not fastly though. He's P6 and yet to pit for a second stop in the Red Bull. But we ignore all of those factors and say he's driving quite smartly. Blonde filters out in P13. Didn't serve his 10 seconds, so I am mistaken. Maybe he could get it removed after post-race, but he is now. Did he fix his front wing? He did fix his front wing. He was missing an end plate. Now, only one person in DRS range. 2 actually. Cookie is. TB gets 10 seconds of speed in the pit lane. He was having a good good race, and that's just put it down in the dumpster, to be honest. Cookie gets past ERN Maxwell G. I don't think the one stop is too helpful. I forgot Skid is still in the race. He's causing more yellow flags. Night Owl still looking for a move on Fusion. Might be using Fusion as a tow every lap to build that gap to the car behind. Build that gap to the people that perhaps have undercut him. Or attempted to undercut him. But I feel like he's just trying to drag that gap out more and more. Using Fusion as a friend. Using Fusion as some help. Shorts still leads the way. Mega pace from him so far. 7.5 was, I think, 8 seconds ahead. But obviously we'll have that. We'll have Gecko gaining on him, maybe a 10th or 2 because of the fresh tyres. But Schwartz has done a great job of negating that gap from going down so much. Maybe Gecko's on a 1-stop. He is on hards. He's not really been pushing. I feel like if he was pushing, he'd have that gap down to 5 seconds. But I think he's protecting those tyres and preparing for a 1-stop. I think Gecko's on a 1-stop here. If it is, it'd be an absolute strategical masterclass to win this race with that 1-stop. Great tyre preservation as well. Night Owl moves up into P5 due to the fact of Little Fusion pitting. GNT comes to the pits. Great stint from him on those 21 lap old tyres. Same with Maxwell G. Blonde up into the points once more. Under pressure from Union. Union has no ERS, so Blonde is no longer under pressure from him. Nisev on the back of TB. Nisev does have an undercut on TB, and Nisev does go quite wide behind TB. Bit of a train up here, 3 cars. with Union, Blonde and Jack Miles. Jack Miles, I think, having to pit again. Beatnik picks up another 3 seconds. I think he's just vibing now. A short pit. The gap was down to 6.2 by Gecko. Got the pit stop glitch where he hasn't actually released from pit lane, but he's already halfway down the pit lane. Reese Dainty pits. Now, will Gecko stay out? That's the question. Beatnik being an annoying little freak, I'm going to say, to Gecko, getting in his way, joining the corners. Loris pits. Great stint by him, by the way. Retained his pace, kept in the top 6 train. And he's going to pit onto a fresh boots of mediums. Good stint from him. Reese, will he get out ahead of Blonde? Blonde is ahead of him. Did spin out due to damage. Blonde comes out behind Reese. Blonde must be kicking himself here. He's bottled a P2. He could still get a P3 here if he overtakes Reese. He will not get Cookie. The Cookie is about 15 seconds ahead. So that'll be out of the question. Beatnik picks up another 3 seconds. I will pick up the penalties now. You have 10 for Blonde, 3 for Jack, 6 for Union, 10 for TB, 3, 3, 3, 3, and 9 for Beatnik. My TV's about to try and switch this up off. Goatley spun. Unlucky for you, Sunshine. You were looking quite good, but you don't look quite good no more. Shorts. Now, I'm curious. I think Gecko is staying out. 14 seconds to shorts. 13 laps, including this one left. Beatnik still being an annoying little freak by getting in the way of him. I feel like this is race fixing. I think he's purposely getting corners just to annoy him. You never know. I think Night Owl has entered the pit lane. 15 seconds. He's picked up 6 seconds in the matter of a lap. Surely. The gap down from 14.2 to 13.5. That gap is going down. Beatnik's done his job. He's cut the corner once more. On purpose. He made no attempt to stay on the track there, my friends. You silly Las Vegas citizen. Sorry, Nevadan citizen. JNT. Passed by Night Owl. Goatley's in a wall. Unlucky dog. I'm going to keep an eye on Beatnik if he gets in the way of Gecko once more, if he just keeps on pushing. I'm keeping an eye on him. Got down to 12.7. That is decreasing a lot. Cookie, good recovery drive from him, P3 currently. Nisef on the back of Union. On track for a P5 for V-Car, by the way, at the moment. Absolute scintillating race from him, if this does stay as it is. We have a train behind him, Josh, Loris, Fusion, Night Owl, not Night Owl. We have 2 trains here. Fusion spins! What a rookie error. A lousy spin by Fusion as Union gets passed by Nissan. Fusion just dropped back. Not Night Owl. Loris gets past Josh. Josh still missing the whole front wing, whatever it knows. Fusion now in the train here with Night Owl. Night Owl gets Maxwell gets moved on JNT. Night Owl ahead. Fusion back in the train here. Not looking to score a point here for V-Carb. Beatnik, mate, you're going to get yourself disqualified as Cookie picks up at 3 seconds. Luckily, I think who told him to say that's Beatnik cutting the corner again. Never mind, he's just hit the frost iron board. Cookie does have a 6-second buffer over Reese, so I don't think that should affect him too much. Position changes. Loris, most improved so far. 7 positions gained this race. Skizzer obviously having real troubles, having more of a Valtteri Bottas 2021 race here. From P1 to P17, 16 positions down. Gecko, currently P1. I think he is staying out here. gained 4 positions, has a 10.9 second gap to Shorts. Now, Shorts' question is that a gap going down quick enough for Shorts to gain back on Gecko? I'm not sure. We'll see when we get there, as Fusion stays ahead of Night Owl, as Torn Penguin gets past Maxwell G. This midfield scrap, very entertaining actually. Blonde, looking still on the rear end of Reese. Was provisionally P2, had his spin, pit for a new wing, now running P5. Would have been P3, but stuff happens. It's racing at the end of the day as JNT gets past Max. G has gone off and gets passed by Jack Miles. 9.8 is the gap up ahead. I think I think we may have a last lap fight here. Shorts gaining on Gecko by a long time. Last lap for Gecko, 18.6, 19.3 last 2. And for Shorts, it was a 17.8, 17.6 as Maxwell G retires in the pit lane. Gecko may be suffering, maybe feeling the tyre wear get to him. Short shifting for traction up into 4th there. Beatnik picks up another 3 seconds, driving like an absolute pillock, I would say. He's lost his head completely after his couple spins. It must be a skill issue. Max will join Savage in the retiree club for today. Night Owl still on the back of Lil Fusion. Josh 433 in the running for at least a point for Haas. A sole point for Haas. Skither moves up a position at least. He's only down 15, not 16 no more. Struggling. Not having the best of races. Obviously having wheel issues and PC issues. As you see Blonde on the back of Reese Dainty. Is Beatnik trying to put Reese Dainty off here? Doing the same thing he did to Gecko earlier on? Maybe. Who knows? Night Out, still not past Fusion. He could probably draw a very accurate photo of the Red Bull's rear wing, considering he's spent a lot of time behind it. Might look for a move here though. Night Owl enables his ERS, turns it off instantly. Stays behind. Blonde. Beatnik's cut another corner. Trying sticking with the Merc Beatnik, I see. Cheeky bugger. Turns in aggressively, loses out on the exit by Beatnik. Really trying to put Reese off. Not sure what his plan is. Cuts the corner again. I think he's sacrificing his own race for his Ferrari Academy people. Playing a very dangerous game. If they were bothered to report, I feel like it could be a very high penalty. Blonde gaining in on Beatnik, not Beatnik, Reese. I feel like if I was Beatnik, get out the way. Stop interfering with these guys. Stop cutting every corner you see. Just don't be a mong, you know? But I don't think he'll ever listen. Because he wants to help his Ferrari Academy teammates out, which I understand to a certain degree. But come on, just don't do it. Don't cut every corner just to interfere. What do you call it? See, be like Skiller, getting out of the way for lap cars, not like a Beatnik. Don't be a nuisance to cars that are lapping you. Maxwell G leaves the session. Obviously, he has retired. Gap down to 7 seconds. Gap was 12.5 when he pits not too long ago. 6.9, 6.9 still. Gap is coming down. Shorts does need a second a lap to get within DRS of Gecko, and to overtake him might be even longer. As you see the stops here, couple on a one stop, couple on a two stop. Union, Loris, fair play to one stopping here. They're the guaranteed points, the pair of them. Great work from them. Gecko has the win in one hand, maybe only his palm. Gap 6 seconds, 6.1. Shorts is gaining, but will it be enough? Reece Dainty still has blonde on his rear end. Pause. Reece Dainty has blonde behind him. Don't know if blonde will look for a move, but blonde's not the best of races. He had a great first stint, but that spin has just hindered him a lot. As you see Loris and Josh fighting here. If they've been contact, they keep it clean. Josh has a bit of a power slide and stays behind. Fusion, Night Owl. Night Owl still going to stick behind. Make a move, son. Go on, show us some. Penguin, not at the best of races. P14. Sticking to Jack. Will have that P13 slot if he doesn't fall behind Jack by 3 seconds. Okay, showing for the Aston Martin driver. TB picks up 3 seconds. That helps Nisev out a lot for that P6 hunt. Is dropping time to Blonde, however. Might not have the P5, but will have a prestigious P6 for VCarb. Will help them a lot. As Beatnik, well, like a moth through a flame. Another 3 seconds. 5.4 the gap in the lead. Josh 433 picks up for 3 seconds. P10. Now, Fusion has gained back up into the points. He is in the points provisionally, based off penalties, if I'm not mistaken. 3 seconds to his name. Josh with 6. Fusion in the hunt, back for a point. After a spin, after his red to start, after a qualifying, he'd be happy to walk away with a singular point, maybe 2. Blonde still chilling behind. Still chilling behind Reece, not using, I think, what Night Owl is using. Josh, Night Owl is using Fusion as a toe buddy to help him gain pace. Night Owl currently in the running for, I think, 2 points here, P9. 3 drivers ahead, 9 seconds, 6 and 3. He is running for P9 at the moment. Loris with a P8 on his 1 stop. 4 laps remaining. Gap in front is 4.5. Can Gecko hold on to this race win? Or can Shorts finally grab his first RPL win? Or does he have to wait for at least another race longer? It's going to be a countdown to the line. As Loris gets past Union, locks his tyres up massively. Union elbows out, round the outside, says goodbye to Loris, but Loris is going to come back at him with DRS. Night Owl's lagged out. I'll give him an invite in a second. Loris defensive, Union around the outside. Fusion look for a move down the inside. Fusion around the outside. Yeah, he got a legal overtake with JNT before here. 3 seconds. No, this time not. Josh trying to hang on to at least a P10, but it would be to no avail as Fusion gets ahead. An absolute ding-dong battle between all four. We'll give Night Owl the invite now as Loris moves up into P8. They're fighting again, but I need to invite Night Owl. So, one sec. Night Owl's been just shoved off by Josh's AI. Poor guy. Beaten at 27 seconds. Not a W Cook. Loris under threats from Little Fusion. We've been trying to break the toe. I don't think it'll be too much avail as Fusion's going to gain with the ERS. DRS slipstream looks to the outside. Loris defends the inside. Squeezes him. Loris locks up. Nice switchback by Fusion. I think Fusion has that P8 in his back pocket. We'll be able to defend from Loris if he mounts a challenge as Fusion has DRS and moves up into P8. Solid recovery drive so far, but is Loris going to look for a move down the inside? Josh does on Union. Josh down the inside. It's going to go switcheroo here versus Union. Josh tries to get the power down, does get the power down. Now side by side through the double right on the exit. Reese has lagged out the session. What's going on? I'll give him an invite as Union sticks it in. Josh comes out ahead. Now, does this count as Reese added? That is the question. The short answer is no, unless I'm blind. Gap now, 2 laps remaining. Lap 35 and 36, 3.3. Gecko's race win to lose, unless I think Skidder's slowing down. I think Skidder's wheel is just trying to kill itself at this point. But Gecko has the race win in his back pocket currently, and he just needs to maintain, have a nice solid last lap. Don't make any mistakes. Keep the car on the road. I think there's a bit of carnage here. I don't know what's happened. I was just scared, never mind. Ignore it. Reese has got an invite back. You're down to P6 Sunshine, but you could still have a P4. Union picks up another 3 seconds, up to 12 seconds. Now Gecko starts the final lap. 2.9, 3 seconds to Shorts. Then Shorts gain 3 seconds. I think not. It'll be an absolute monumental lap if Shorts gains 2.8 seconds to Gecko. Maybe hoping, do some black magic Shorts, hope for a puncture. Now, P9 battle. Through the S section. Loris leads this train. Great recovery from Loris. Has Josh behind him. There's a spin. Union around. The tyres gave up on him fast and quick, and he will not be too happy with himself there. He drops to P13 as Jack Miles moves up into the point-paying positions, as Little Fusion has actually gained a lot. So that's good for him. Now, absolute kerfuffle here. Loris, who's going to come out on top here? But we put pause on that battle at the moment. It's going to be a absolute strategical masterclass by Gecko entering the stadium section. The fireworks ablaze. Gecko from P5 on the grid. Didn't think he had much chance of winning the fast Ferraris. But nevertheless, Gecko on top here in Mexico wins the Mexican Grand Prix. Shorts picks up another podium and has to wait for that elusive race win. Cookie on the podium after a lap 1 shunt and was last. Great recovery from him. Blonde had a spin, should have had a podium, but nevertheless comes home for a P4 on the road. TB P5 on the road, but Reese usurps the pair of them, goes to P4. Nisev a very good P7 for the V Carbs. Fake TB drops to P7 actually. Nisev picks P6 up for the V Carb team. Little Fusion, great recovery by him. Spun as well, picks up P8. Jack Miles in the points, provisionally, as he will drop down Josh in the top 10, but it's going to be Torn Penguin in the points. Jack Miles does actually pick up a points paying position, P10. Loris drops out. Good recovery by him though. Josh P12, Union P13. Night Owl had his disconnect. heartbreak for him, deserved a point, but only P13, Union P14, J&T P15, as Skither goes backwards over the line for P18. Unfortunate race for Skither, but can't have everything as J&T goes over the line backwards. Overall, great race. Well done to Gecko, unlucky to shorts. Gecko on top there. Gecko, P5 to P1, an absolute great one-stopper, and I think deserves driver of the day. A great race by him. Jack Mars, P17 to P10, another an honourable mention for driver of the day, picking up a point. Interesting race, good race. And that's it here. We'll see you next week. Adios.